do some sketchy shit. Do-da, do-da, hope I get away with it. Oh, do-da, day.
Hello there. Some of the more perceptive of you may have noticed that I am not Joe McKeel, and you're wondering where the actual host of this show is. Well, he's returning from a convention where he is promoting Hallowcon, which probably explains uh, Chris's absence as well. But Joe Dog said as soon as he gets home, he's going to jump in. So right now, we're just kind of holding down the fort. And with me tonight is Joe Bachman from a job site where he is not really playing live action Frogger, but sitting in a truck, very, very close to the action is kind of similar. And we got John Scarborough here too. And yay! Um, Not quite putting the band back together. Hello, Adam. Um, feel extra stupid today? Well, wait till Joe Dog gets here. You'll feel like
You feel a lot better. Yeah.
Your intelligence just went up by 150 points.
If you feel this stupid, if you feel this stupid when Joe gets here, you'll only feel this stupid. Okay.
We're out here patching potholes on the interstate in the snow. So,
Okay. Now, question about that. Okay. Do they actually have to like go in and clean out the pothole before they do it, or they dig it out, or what do they do?
So this is just like as if NDOT maintenance was doing it. It's slap some mix into the hole and hope for the best.
So they don't even get the fish out of them first.
Yeah, they. Yeah. Hey, look, a hubcap. That sort of thing.
It's just cold mix because all the asphalt plants are shut down right now.
I was just about to ask, do you have to keep the asphalt truck hot during a snowstorm in order to do this? But you just said it's a cold mix.
Yep. And it is very frozen in the trailer of this truck right now because during the opening of the show, I was watching a guy jumping up and down in the bed of the truck trying to break more loose.
An air hammer might be not a lick amiss.
So what is the temperature up there in your neck of the woods?
According to my truck, it is 34, but I don't trust that. So let me pull up the weather app here.
That ain't too terrible.
According to the weather app, it is 31 and feels like 22.
Okay, that's a little more on the bad side.
Yeah, that's more like a night at the factory at this time of year with all the
we've been warm,
warehouse doors open and the wind blowing through.
We've been warm here in North Georgia for the last week. I've actually had the heater off and the windows open like for 3 days. But it started raining yesterday. It's rained all day today. It's supposed to stop raining here soon, and then the temperature is going to drop. It's going to be freezing all week. So.
Yeah, winter is returning.
By the time I get off in the morning, it's supposed to be 9 degrees up here.
If you don't mind my saying so, I'm glad I live down here.
We were having a conversation the other day, and somebody was like, my mom's husband was like, why the hell do they have Somalis living in Minneapolis, Minnesota? Okay. And I'm like, well, if you spent most of your young life living in a desert, you probably never would want to see sand or sun ever again. Minneapolis might be joy for them, It's like, fuck that desert. It's
Hey, that's perfectly understandable, actually.
Or something like this. You lived in a village in Somalia. The warlords and tigers and lions and whatever else raided your village constantly. Okay. You moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let them little bastards freeze their ass off trying to sneak into your village up there.
Yes.
My old neighbor recently, this past summer, married a lady from Thailand. She moved over here with him. So this is her first winter. And my wife and I, because she's still learning English. She's getting a lot better. He had actually bought her some books to learn English, and he didn't realize what he had bought her was to learn how to read English and not actually speak it.
Ooh, yeah.
So she can read it better than she can speak it currently.
Sort of like me in German.
Which is good. Yeah.
Or French. Although I did take classes on how to speak French, it turns out that reading a European Romance language is far easier than learning the pronunciation rules and whatnot.
Yeah, she asked us, because my neighbor had told her, what the temperatures were like in the winter here. And she asked us, she goes, basically asked, does it really get that cold? And so I pulled up, some, historical weather data from the last few years and, showed her what it was in Fahrenheit and then converted it to Celsius, and her eyes got about the size of pancakes and, just...
I'll go through that with some of the British folks, and they're going, "Oh, I don't know. I don't understand Fahrenheit. What's the real temperature?" And I'm going, "Well, let me pull up the conversion page on my web browser, and
it's 20 degrees Celsius with a negative in front of it." Oh.
Which is weird because that's where Fahrenheit and Celsius cross over. -40 is -40 on both scales.
Yep.
There's this thing you see on the internet all the time about British people joking about Americans will use anything for measurements except the metric system. And
yes.
My argument for that was, yes, but we have a dollar, which was based on the Spanish dinar. Benjamin Franklin was the one who suggested it to Congress. It's broken down into 100 pennies, 10 dimes, 4 quarters, no, now, the British have things like pence and farthings. Okay. What the fuck?
Farthings and
what the fuck is a farthing? What kind of coin is that? I mean,
it's about this big, and it's worth like 2 1/4 pennies or something. I don't know. That's the old money, though. They've gone to decimal currency since then. And matter of fact, it's been a long time. But
I mean, what are they using now? Like electrical box slugs or something? That was,
Actually, no, it's very, very pretty.
oh, it's
It
that two
looks
tone
better than
stuff.
American Change, let me tell you.
It's that two tone stuff, right?
Well, some of it, yeah. But you got to pay attention because sometimes it's got round edges. Sometimes it's got round edges with serrations in it, like our quarters do. And sometimes it's straight edges, but there's enough of them to where that particular polygon feels round in your pocket. But you do not want to pay somebody a 5-pound coin for a 10 pence cup of coffee.
Well, first off, I would never buy a 10 pence cup of coffee because that got to be
you
some
would.
pretty
It's only a dime.
Exactly. First off, it's Britain. They don't know damn thing about coffee. Second, if you're only paying 10 cents for the coffee, well.
Well, I mean, I'll go to Costa Coffee most of the time. The few times I've been over there to visit, Costa Coffee makes Starbucks look like something somebody has already digested. Costa Coffee tastes like real coffee.
That's one thing. We have Aldi marts down here in Georgia now.
Uh-huh.
And when I was stationed in Berlin, that was one of the two grocery stores that they had in Berlin was Aldi. That's where I used to go to buy my coffee. It was the Aldi marts because they had that nice, it says vacuum packed fine grind. Mm-hmm. And I'd bought a German coffee maker and it preferred the fine grind stuff. So
yeah, that's the trouble I have with the
which was sort of a mistake because after about a month of that, everybody that lived in the hallway I was in would come to my room first thing in the morning to get a cup of coffee. like all 50 of them.
Yeah, you're financing everybody's caffeine habit. Yeah.
At a certain point, you set up the jar, and it's put it.
The only problem is,
week, boys.
The only problem is it was a 12-cup coffee pot, so and I'd have a big coffee cup. So
you were going to drink all 12 of those, but then your friends horned in. It's like throwing a dorm party in the 70s. Somebody's always going to come in freeloading. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Listening mode engaged. I gather that you are still inside your vehicle. So drive carefully, but you don't have to listen carefully. No, and aside to the point you just brought up about the fine ground coffee, we have one of those French press coffee makers, and it wants the either medium grind or very coarse grind to be able to make the coffee and not have each cup be full of a half-inch of sediment at the bottom. So that's we either have to get it from a store that has a custom coffee grinder, or we've got to very carefully search the shelves and make sure it's a coarse enough grind to where we can actually use the French press.
Of course, the nice thing about internet nowadays, you can order all that stuff off the internet. So.
Well, yeah, but it's more expensive.
No, usually less.
Well, except for the delivery. Most of the time, I get charged more for shipping something to the house than what the product actually costs. You buy something for $5 and you got to pay $7.88 shipping on top of the $5.
I usually buy other stuff too. But...
Oh, Rocket City HorrorCon. That's very good. Joe Dog's got ops in his own damn channel. I don't have to bring him in.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm here.
okay. So
Yep.
did you hear this woman from Minnesota went down to the Virgin Islands and was killed by a shark?
Yeah, that happens a lot. Mm.
Well, I hate to hear
Oh,
that, but
Bears just threw another interception.
oh dear, there goes your damn pocket money for tomorrow.
No, I got 50 on the Packers to win it. So
Okay. Hopefully you've got the spread so that you don't have to do without your prize money.
oh no, it's just a friendly bet between me and a buddy.
Well, yeah,
This
but
is-
I've,
we don't
I've,
do the whole spread thing. It's just, you know,
I'm,
50 bucks on the game itself.
I'm used to people at work. They're going, yeah, I'll bet you, but I want a 20-point spread. And
Well,
everybody's looking
you
like,
almost got it right now.
Mm.
Packers 21, Bears 6.
Duh, Bears. Sorry.
The Packers. This doesn't sound as good.
Now, I will say this. The Bears have been doing a lot of comeback games this year. You know, they've been down and came back in the fourth quarter. So I may have logged into FanDuel and thrown 20 bucks on the Bears on the money line, which would net me 200. So I'm good either way.
I have been to, admittedly, high school football games where the home team was down 3/4 of the game, and then in the last quarter, they're making interceptions and running touchdowns and kicking field goals and all this stuff. They get right up to almost winning and run out of time.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, my high school football team back when I was in the marching band and was going to all the football games for free because I didn't have a choice. I had to be there. They would pull defeat out of the mouth of victory at any drop of a hat. Hell, our girls' basketball team could beat them into football. So. Of course, the girls' basketball teams wound up being state champs most of the damn time. Some of them looked a little funny running down the court with puppy arms waving as they ran, but them wasn't the ones that were dribbling. So, let's see.
Uh-oh. Packers, I think, just turned it back over.
Ooh.
Maybe.
About to leave Joe Dog's place, spent the day at Rocket City Hallowcon in Huntsville. I bet you didn't get a chance to stop by and say hi to Stephanie.
No, we didn't. We met her at Cracker Barrel and had dinner.
Well, that's even better.
Oh. I think I'm doing good for 18 and a half hours of no nap.
No.
You make it sound like a hardship not to doze off in the middle of the damn day. At least you weren't driving while you were sleeping.
Damn near was a few times.
I know that feeling.
Oh.
Oh, thankfully there are places where you can pull over and just go ahead and take a nap and not have to worry about waking up with some cop knocking on your driver's window going, um, you camping or just trying not to have a wreck?
Of course, I told Chris on the way back, I said, they say statistically most accidents after a long trip happen within 1 mile of the house. He goes, yeah, I've heard something about that. And I said, yeah. So we're going to stop at the brickyard and walk home. Chris laughed on it, says, screw that. I'll drive home. Chris says, you need company walking?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Of course, another discussion came up. Why do girls farts smell like burning rubber bands wrapped in hair?
Is that a serious question, or are we just supposed to contemplate the possibilities?
Yeah. Of course, me and Donna are going back and forth all the way home. He says, I know you two got to love each other. For as long as y'all been together and still talk to each other like that, you got to love each other. I said, keeping her's cheaper and I'm too pretty to go to jail.
Carefully considering that concept.
What, cheaper to keep her or too pretty to go to jail?
I know it's cheaper to keep her, but I'm gonna have to wait till I've got more brain cells actually firing to consider the second half of that statement seriously.
I've got 3 brain cells and they're firing. Just not in order.
At each other. Incoming.
So, Joe, what project are you working on?
What's that?
What project are you working on?
I am on I-94 between the 26 and 35 mile marker tonight, doing emergency pothole patching.
Oh, John, did you hear about the nice new pavement on 24?
What about it?
On in around Belvoir? It floats.
I will be right back because my audio is getting worse.
All right. Yeah, they didn't fix the flood problem.
That last big flood we had, the one that ate the car and the toilet bowl swirly thing.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they were going to go back and put in more ditches and stuff, or just.
Now, is it the fact that they didn't design the drainage well enough?
That part of the freeway goes through a swamp.
Well, it didn't help that they lowered the freeway 8 feet and filled in the ditches that were channeling all the water away from the area.
Yeah, that was dumb.
When they widened the freeway through there, they lowered it slightly to build better on-ramps and off-ramps. But they got rid of all the ditches down the side of the road to make the freeway wider. And these ditches that they got rid of were big enough that you could have driven a Volkswagen down them. And probably not been seen from the freeway.
So basically, just another passing lane. Your tax dollars at work.
Yeah.
Well-
Actually, John, they didn't lower it for better ramps. They lowered it for higher bridges.
What that? Yeah, that too.
Instead of raising the bridges, they lowered the road around it.
Which is stupid too, because they replaced all the bridges and still screwed that up.
Yeah, but raising a bridge, I mean, just replacing the bridge deck and actually raising a bridge, that's two
They replaced all the
wholly
components.
different projects.
Yeah, but that's just it. They replaced all the components.
They did the pilings and everything.
The whole thing. Both
Okay.
both of the end caps and the center pedestal, and here's what's funny. They went and ordered the beams for the big concrete beams, ordered the wrong size. And delayed the project by almost 6 months because they had to reorder. They had to reorder new beams.
All right, we lost a Joe, or he turned his phone sideways and something didn't happen.
Don't see any lights from his microphone.
Nope. I think I think he might be talking to somebody. Oh, nope, he disappeared.
Oh.
Okay. Because he was huffing and puffing on his vapor there. So
Those parts that were misordered, they're not actually recyclable, are they?
No.
I don't know if they're custom built or standard built. If they're standard built, they could apply them to another project, or they might be able to, if another project wasn't far enough along, they might be able to refit the other project to match the beams.
That's Mr. Bachman's
Apparently, my
department.
connection is getting bad out here, so I will catch you guys another time.
All right.
Good night.
Thank
Stay
you
safe.
for being with us this long.
Stay warm.
Sitting in a truck in the middle of winter on the side of the road. I don't think staying warm is one of the options available in this particular.
Oh yeah, there's a great option available because it's a fairly good truck, so the heater's in good shape, and it's government gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna stay warm.
Yeah, he mentioned that he was sitting there watching all of his mirrors, watching the people almost hit the barriers that have been deployed around the project they're working on.
Yeah, people are stupid.
Well, I'm not going to argue about that.
I hate to be the party pooper, but
No, you don't. You love being a party pooper.
no, I'm the party farter. Oh, which reminds me.
But you're older now.
Yeah. Before we left, I went to do the pre-trip evacuation.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sitting there, I rip one off, and the guy standing over the urinal goes, "Gabriel, is it really the end of the world?"
Might be the end of yours if you don't get out of here real quick. I've heard the elevator story several times. Well, there's no reason John and I have to sit here and monologue or duologue or dialogue for another hour if
Or in
you're going
Joe's
to
case,
leave.
drop a log.
I was trying not to think of that, John. Thank you.
Oh, since Joe's here, you heard anything from Zach?
Yeah, he's just got so much going on. He's getting ready to head to Florida. And he's working the launch pad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he hadn't sent me any messages back, so I'm wondering.
Mm,
I don't know if I've seen him since he got back from. I think I've seen him once since he got back from surgery, but I can't swear it. So.
yeah, it's a shame that he had to give up his Florida home, or was it a Texas home?
Florida.
Florida, and still have to go back and forth because that's got to be a whole lot more expensive than having a place you can just walk up to and unlock and go in.
Yeah.
Depends on whether he can rent one for like 3 months or lease one for 3 months or something like that.
Well, that's just it.
That's not cheap.
No, well, nothing is, not nowadays.
Dudes, I hate to be rude. I can't even hold my head up.
Good night, Joe.
Good night, y'all. Thanks for running the show. I'll see everybody Thursday because we got to talk about some stuff. And
All
Dan,
right.
Dan, expect an email Monday.
Okay. I still haven't got a straight answer from Lindsay about which hotel I need to get rooms in.
Yeah, but expect an email Monday. It'll be a group email, so just go from there.
Doesn't matter. I'll get
All
it.
right. All right. We'll holler at y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Night.
If the damn thing will get me out of here, God, you got to leave studio 5 times.
I understand exactly what he's talking about. I really do.
Let's see. I was looking for something to talk about real quick.
Hey, look, if we really need to have a 35-40 minute show instead of hour and a half, that's perfectly doable.
Do you want to call it?
I don't have anything that I can talk about, really.
Well, I was just looking at the news. We got U.S. launches new retaliatory strikes against ISIS in Syria in retaliation for the ambush they did a couple weeks back. And then, of course, the protesters, Iran's having their protest, and apparently some protesters in London climbed the fence at the Iranian embassy in London and tore the flag down and put up a banner for the the old flag before the Muslims took over.
Ooh.
And
that must have been a calculated insult.
Yeah. And then you see, apparently a lot of protesters have been getting shot down in Tehran area, and you see this. I was reading something earlier about, they say hospitals throughout Tehran are inundated with wounded and dead.
3 Mile Island restart?
Yeah.
Chris, you're going to have to explain that one.
No. You know, there were 2 reactors at 3 Mile Island.
Yeah.
Only one of them had the problem. The other one was operating for years, but because of the bad publicity, they eventually closed it. But it was still off. I mean, they just shut it down. Well, I think, if I remember correctly, Microsoft wants to set up a data center in that area, a really big one. I think it was Microsoft. But they want to set up this data center. They are funding a restart. They're funding the company that's running the place now. I can't remember the name of the company, but this company that owns it and refurbished it and is going to restart it just to power that area where the data center is going to be. So they're basically going to have their own nuclear reactor. Of course, it'll power other stuff too.
Yeah, I've lived near Oak Ridge. I understand. I still don't know why they keep building nuclear reactors in Tennessee on a fault line. It doesn't seem safe to me, but I'm an amateur. I don't know. Matter of fact, you think people would look at a map and go, there's mountains here. There's steam vents and things. Maybe this is not the best place in the world for a hydroelectric dam or a nuclear power plant.
Okay. Here it is. You see. September 20th, 2024, citing a resurgence in the need for nuclear-generated carbon-free electricity, Constellation Energy Company announced plans to reopen 3 Mile Island Unit 1. And in a partnership with Microsoft, entered into a 20-year agreement to purchase power from the facility once it resumes operations.
So I'm guessing Unit 2 was the one that had the little accident?
Yeah. And then, you see, as part of the plan, Microsoft entered into a 20-year agreement to purchase power from the facility for their expanding AI data centers.
Considering that a lot of people are dumping Microsoft operating systems entirely because they don't want any AI anything in their computers.
The Iranian leader, Mr. Khamenei, whatever his name is, not Khomeini, but he was the old guy before he died. And then the new guy has deemed protesters enemy of God and threatens death without compassion. Nice guy, ain't he?
Sounds like the folks that are running around Minneapolis. Oh, Lord. We got some weird shit going on here in the U.S. I mean, weird for us, even. There were a couple of more folks getting shot by whoever they are, the immigration service that's so widely hated.
Yeah, Minneapolis had that ICE agent shoot that lady. And turns out her and her girlfriend were professional agitators. So they, there's a lot more going on there than
I have read more into that story than what gets reported in the Snowflake news.
Right.
There was somebody else. I want to say
in Seattle. There was
Seattle. Thank you. Yes.
Man and woman, and they were part of a. You'll love this bit. Venezuelan terrorist gang organization.
I don't want to hear anything about Venezuela being evil, man. I mean, seriously.
Well, this goes back because they were arrested. One of the guy that was shot was arrested under the Biden administration and released under the Biden administration as illegal immigrant. He's got a bunch of crimes. I think the one they finally got him on was a DUI.
Mm.
And
Well, I mean,
yeah,
the
Bob
only
Weir
way
died.
we got Al Capone was on tax evasion.
Well, that's how they arrested him. Yeah, because they couldn't get him on the other stuff. They couldn't. They couldn't find anybody balls enough to sit on a stand and testify against him. But tax records don't lie. So it's.
And as Chris pointed out, and Lindsay told me earlier today, Bob Weir, the Grateful Dead, has passed away. There ain't many members of the Grateful Dead left, are there? I know it was a huge band, but we are all getting a bit long in the tooth. There's a bunch of folks I miss from the sort of music I really enjoy the most, but like I said, been going on a long time, and they aren't getting any younger, and neither are their audience, or at least not the core people that have been following them forever.
See, I'm trying to read up on Grateful Dead here real quick.
Rod Stewart turned 81 today. His wife is only 19, so somebody doing something right there. I remember in one song he was talking about how long ago the song actually came out. He's going, yeah. Well, my wife was only 1 when I released that one. I'm going, not quite cradle robbing when you waited till she was, in her 30s before you ever met her. But still, all these old rich guys with young women, it's not the young women that are being gold diggers all the time. Sometimes it is, but not always. And you got to wonder, would you outlive your last girlfriend? Which happens a lot. I mean, hell, I've outlived 2 wives already. Pat Benatar is 73, and I bet she's still hot. Wow, that means I'm actually not much younger than Pat Benatar. Okay.
It's kind of, I do that a lot now that I'm older. You see people and you go, gosh, I didn't know they were that much older than me. And then you see them and go, gosh, I didn't know they were that much younger than me.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 causes. Sometimes it's good genetics, and sometimes it's being able to afford having work done. And basically, a lot of people are too polite to ask, which it is.
I'll be 60 this year, and Marilyn Manson is the same age as me. That's
I started to make a very, very inappropriate comment. And I'm glad I stopped myself. Um, there are a few people I am the same age as, and there are other people of whom I am proud to share a birthday, even though the ages are not anywhere near the same. I mean, I share a birthday with Godzilla. He's older than I am, but not by much.
I've been getting these ads for some reason for interlock kits for your circuit breaker box.
Uh-huh.
And what you can do, you turn off your main power, you flip this plate into place, and then you can turn on the generator circuit and run your house off your generator, or run whatever you've got hooked to the generator.
Yeah.
But it cuts you off. It cuts you off from city power. So
it takes the grid out of the circuit so that the generator does not get damaged by an accidental surge from grid power.
no.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff from the company that I buy my solar power banks and solar panels from. And they've got this whole house power unit. It's like an extra circuit breaker wall, and they just come in and put it in and wire it up, and you've got panels to power everything. And in case of emergency, you've got these storage batteries sitting up there with this inverter, and a switch automatically flips. The grid power is disabled, and the battery power kicks in, and you can run a full-size fridge for damn near a week. You can run a microwave or a hairdryer for a couple of hours before you start seriously draining the batteries, because those things use a lot of power compared to a refrigerator.
750 to 1500 watts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to get the refrigerator circuit for the refrigerator in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
The heater, air conditioner, HVAC unit,
Mm-hmm.
and my deep freezer.
All with the backup power supply.
All backup power supply. Our heater is gas, so I don't think I actually need electricity.
No, that would not be.
Well,
I'm
not sure if it has electricity to run the control box.
It might. You'd have to research that a little bit.
But that wouldn't be a lot of electricity. That'd just be the like the thermostat tell when your water got cold.
Exactly. It's doable. There's a particular company that I'm quite fond of. I've been buying their equipment. I'm not going to put it on the show because that might be seen as an endorsement. But if you got questions, text me, email me. I'll give you the link to research them. But apparently, you don't even have to go to their online store unless you particularly are meticulous about getting the warranties. You can go to Home Depot and buy their stuff. Almost all of it. Now, there are advantages to using their website. Like I said, you get full warranty on things. It may be a short-term warranty, it may be a long-term warranty, depending on the particular device in question. At the moment, I've got 800 watts worth of solar panels in 2 different independent locations on the property. And when I get a day that it's rainy or a week that it's rainy, it'll last about 4 days before it's going, I kind of need some sunshine or a drop cord, one or the other. Take your pick. And you can plug it into grid power and recharge it, and you've got another 4 to 6 days, depending on what you're running off of it. Got one in the well house. What it powers is a lamp when I'm in there working, or the what you call it, the heater tape on the pipes, and that only operates from freezing to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and it shuts off. It's got its own thermostat built in. So when it gets down to 32 Fahrenheit, the heater tape kicks on, and when the thermostat in the heater tape detects that the pipe is now 45 degrees so that your water doesn't freeze up, it kicks off until the temperature drops back down to freezing again inside the pipe, which I think is really, really neat. But, 6 of one, half dozen other. I don't have a bunch of spare batteries hooked up to that one. Not yet. I may later on, but right now, if I'm going to get 2 to 5 days powering 1 or 2 things that are critical, 2 to 5 days, the weather can change a lot. Out for the barn, it's not on grid power at all. There's no wires going to that. There's just solar. And I've been able to get 300 to over 400 watts out of the solar panels. When they're supposed to be maxed out at 400, but I've seen them at 460, which kind of goes, that's not supposed to be possible, but it's charging up the main inverter and its battery pack and the 2 smart batteries that are hooked up to it. So, it's basically got, what is it? 12.5 kilowatt hours. That'll run a dorm fridge. I mean, the waist high under the counter dorm fridge. That'll run one of those for about 4 days without sunlight recharging the batteries.
Yeah, we all had snow this time last year, Chris. Yeah. I think Dan even had snow.
Last year, I don't worry about last year. I'm still remembering 1978.
93.
78, I was in Atlanta at a comic convention, which may have become Atlanta Comic Con in the meantime. I do not know. But it was about 70 degrees when I got there, and then the next day it wasn't.
That was this time last year.
That don't look like my place. I didn't have that white truck last year. We wound up walking through 6 to 8 inches of ice to get to a Waffle House that was still operational so we could eat, but the restrooms in the Waffle House are frozen solid. And people kept using them anyway. It was not a good experience to even walk down that end of the hallway. Needless to say, none of us ever made it back to that comic convention because we were too busy being holed up waiting on electricity to come back. And then when things finally started thawing out, I had to drive home from Atlanta to Athens across 75 and 85 highway in the snow, which did not seem to be melting very quickly at all. But because of the snow, most of the drivers that would have been a problem had already
Parked in the ditches.
pretty much, yeah.
Whether they wanted to or not. Yeah. You want to hear something funny? Okay. You remember I was telling you earlier about that guy climbed up on the Iranian embassy, pulled down the flag of the Islamic Republic of Iran, pulled their flag down and put up the old flag? Well, someone contacted Elon Musk on X and his head of products, Nikita Bear, and complained about them keeping the new the Ayatollah's flag up. Basically, says, "Is there any way you could get rid of that flag on X?" And I love this thing. Bear responded back the same day saying, "Give me a few hours." So now the Iranian flag, the Islamic Republic of Iran, is now banned on X.
Okay.
But they can show the old flag.
Which actually was not a kinder, gentler regime.
They were better they were actually very progressive compared to a lot of the other countries in that area.
Well, yeah.
Women had rights, didn't have to wear burqas, went to college, fun stuff like that.
Could drive.
I
didn't have to be.
Don't know about that one.
If you're going to be sending them to college, you might as well let them have car keys.
I am a firm believer that 95% of the people that live in the Middle East that do, in fact, have cars should not be driving.
Especially not towards a roadblock at 70 miles an hour.
Think Atlanta in a snowstorm. Okay.
I'm sorry. Atlanta in a snowstorm has no traffic. They've already had a wreck at the first 3 snowflakes. And they didn't even get their 5 gallons of milk and 15 loaves of bread and a carton of eggs. And I keep going, is everybody making French toast in Atlanta this winter? I
Let me
mean,
see.
milk sandwiches don't make any damn
Ooh.
sense. But,
I went to Iran on Wikipedia, and they've got the old flag posted.
okay.
Yeah. So apparently everybody's telling the Ayatollah that your time is up.
Well, actually there seems to be a lot of people who are being told that their time is up. Your 15 minutes of fame expired.
Like bad milk.
Mhm.
Oh, here we go. I'm trying to find out when the Shaws took power.
Oh my goodness, I got a compliment.
On what? Oh,
Happy New Year, enjoying the tales from Maren Eberm. Well, thank you very, very much. I work hard on those. There will be another one. I'm not through writing it yet. I've got about a third of a book's worth. But there will be my first ever completed novel being published, part this year, probably part next year, because the publisher, because it's so 150,000 words, it's a big book. The publisher wants to split it up into 3 volumes. So look for something called Fly by Wire from Three Ravens Publishing when we get through with it, because he just contacted me and said he's going to be my editor this time. He's not turning it over to someone else. And I'm going, well, maybe I won't have to explain quite so many literary cross references, because that's one of my foibles is I will reference classic literature of several different eras, hoping that someone else has read the same number of books I have and actually gets the joke. But this, and for friends of Tom Darby, he does make a couple of appearances in this novel. He's not the main character. He just kind of walks on, shoots some folks, and walks off. Okay? The last chapter with the ninjas was really fun to write. You really got to read the part about the time traveler and the ninjas. That's gonna be good. But you got to wait for the third volume of the book to come out to get that far. I'm excited. Like I said, this is the first absolutely complete novel that I had ever written. And it was about 100,000 words, if not just a hair more. And then I suddenly realized I had a dangling plot thread. There was a murder mystery inside the main story that I realized it needed to be solved, and I knew exactly what the solution was. So I solved that, and that became the not quite an epilogue, but the final third of the book. And since it's only ever been online before, now it's going to be in print. And I am just absolutely over the rainbow. Now, once that's done, I've got the fantasy novel I've got to finish. I don't know if it's going to be novel length or if it's just a very, very long uh, novella. And then I have, um, like I said, 2/3 of another Marinibrium book that I've got to write. And then um, there are stories that have been kind of in progress for a decade or more, but they're not real tight, really connected things. So I might um, follow Carl and Aunt Donna's lead and just put them out through Lulu. I mean, hire editors and hire cover artists or whatever. I'd love to have a book cover by Nick Tockert. Uh, um, the fantasy book, I want to do the book cover myself, but that means I'm going to have to take 6 months to do a painting. Um, and then, you know, there there's always ideas percolating. Um, I've got an entire file of the germs of stories, the hook, but not much follow up. And if anything happens to me, I've told my um, well, I've told my publisher, put these out under the name of Unbegun Tales, and let people use those as story prompts and write their own, as long as they give me credit for the story prompt. It's kind of like something I used to do on Apelian. Um, I'd write a narrative hook and writer's challenge, uh, dare people to turn it into a finished story. And you'd be surprised at how good some of those finished stories turned out to be. And all I did was write like 3 sentences, which gave them an entire story to create. Um, T.K. Carter died. That name is very familiar.
Is that the black guy from The Thing? The young black guy, not the older one. Older one was Keith David.
The John Carpenter thing from Another World.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can see them both in my head.
He was also he was in some Vietnam War series too, I think. Let me look that up.
Well, MC, I mean, dangling plot threads. You can call them cliffhangers, but they're more like unfinished tales, or in my case, unbegun tales. But yeah, and it's great when somebody can go back and go, "Ooh, I finally figured out how to do that." So let me dash off 100,000 words real quick. It'll only take me, well, it'll take me 6 months, but some writers it only takes about a week. Curse you, Red Baron. Oh, that was the refrigerator kicking on. Hey, it's keeping my beer cold. I don't care if it makes a bunch of noise.
He's been in a lot of good You know, he always played the B role, but he's been in
Mhm.
a lot of good stuff. See, he was in Hollywood Nights.
Okay.
Played one of the doo-woppers. See, Southern Comfort. Played Korea. That's the Vietnam thing I was looking for. And of course, The Thing. He was in Doctor Detroit.
Oh dear.
Guilty pleasure. He was one of the Transformers
Oh,
in the old Hasbro era Transformers TV series in '85. Played Rocksteady. Runaway Train. Did a lot of cartoon stuff. Oh.
well, yeah. There are a lot of people that transition. Well, didn't I don't want to say transitioned, but branched out into being voice actors because you could get a lot done in one day and collect a pretty decent paycheck, and then you still had time for other projects in live action or well, I hesitate to compare live action with television, but um, the argument could be made. I don't know if I'm going to agree with it or not, but uh, yeah, priorities. Um, I'm not getting any damn younger, Mac. I've got a bunch of stuff I want to do. I've got a bunch of stuff I've already started. I do want to get it done my way. But if anything happens, I mean, seriously, I've left a legacy. There are ways and means to continue the work that I started, even if I'm not there myself. But I'd really like to be there myself and turn out my own versions of my own stories. But then there are the ones that I have explicitly started for other people to finish. No, it's not vanity. It's not some kind of control issue. It's, hey, here's an idea. I don't know what to do with it. You do something with it. John Forsythe loved being the voice of Charlie in Charlie's Angels. Imagine he did.
Of course, I liked him as the boss in Scrooged.
Oh yeah. That was now why can I not remember the actor's name?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Well,
I
John
I
Forsythe
have
played
seen
his
your
boss,
moments.
his former boss, and showed up as a dead golf zombie, which was hilarious.
Why is it golf shows up in so damn many movies?
The guy walks in dressed in his golf outfit, toting a golf bag, and walks straight over the bar. Bill Murray's character pulls out the 38. Kabam, kabam, kabam. I don't care if you shoot me, but go easy on the Bacardi.
No. We had one of the best eras to grow up in.
We did.
There's so much imagination and so much humor and so much creativity that we were allowed to witness firsthand. Other people might not realize just how special a time that we have had and will continue to have, because every generation thinks theirs is the best one ever and they had the best
Yeah.
toys. And I'm sorry, but unless you had the chemistry kit with the radioactive materials, you did not have the best toys.
Or if you could still buy dynamite at the fireworks store. That was actually
Fireworks store, hardware store.
let's see. I'm going to post that scene on Stupid O'Clock just because I like it so much.
Okay. Oh, we've got like, oh God, I'm having to do math. Yes, give a dyslexic a math problem. Why don't you? We get about 20 minutes, maybe. And that's not even counting the closing video.
Let's see. Yeah, we got about, 13 minutes or something like that? Or what?
Something like that, yeah.
12 or less than 12. 11 and change.
Which surprises me, because I thought, once Joe Dog left, we were both going to be bored with chatting back and forth and just go, hey, good night, everybody, and close it all out. But no, we've managed to bullshit our way through a whole new program.
I did not know this. Somebody posted a picture on one of my Chattanooga historical pages.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Cash once did a music video with him driving a train. And strange enough, that train is one of the ones down here at Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum that you can ride around in.
I did not know any of that.
I did not either. I will share that to Stupid O'Clock as well.
Yeah, Chris Walker gave us talking points. Matt gave us talking points. There were several other people that gave us talking points too. Actually, without our chat, we probably would get bogged down in just looking around and exploring things without going into any real conversational territory. Now, my challenge is, after the show is over, getting sleepy, going into the bedroom and not stepping on a elderly cat that we've been nursing back to health. But, there's only so much we can do. If you got an 18-year-old cat, you're not going to have an 18-year-old cat for very much longer. Although we've got one that's 19 and still going strong. And she's a stubborn little thing. Kind of like that grandmother that rules the family forever. Yeah, as you were saying, I'm sorry.
I'm reading this article on how to cook spaghetti. And one of the things is stop boiling your pasta in plain water. You see, this simple trick changes everything. It says, salt it like you mean it. It says,
Well, yeah.
Says adding a lot more salt than I do. They said most people sprinkle a pinch and call it good. It says, but you want to flavor the pasta, and then they said reserve the starchy liquid because you can use it to make sauces. Because a lot of the starch comes out of the pasta while you're cooking.
Indeed. Don't be afraid of using bay leaves. I mean, what else are they good for?
Well, this is just the pasta, not no sauce, just cooking the noodles so far. And then let me see what's the next one. Use less water than you think. Apparently, people use too much water on a regular basis.
That's weird, but I'll take it under consideration.
I usually use half a pot of water for the pot I've got. But
I put in a lot of salt. I put in several bay leaves. I put in as much butter as I am allowed to use because we buy the Kerrygold butter and it's not cheap.
Yeah,
but it's the healthiest butter on the planet.
They say use 4 to 6 quarts of water to a pound of pasta, which is about what I'm using. I think that pot holds 8 quarts.
I just use enough to cover it up and let it boil. I'm probably using not enough water. But
now I always bring the water to the boil and then drop the pasta in once it's got a good rolling boil. How I was always taught. See, skip the oil. Seriously, don't add olive oil to pasta water.
I don't normally do that.
I've dropped a pat of butter in there from time to time, but I don't normally do that. I usually now after I get the pasta out, if I'm not mixing it in with the sauce, I'll put it in a pot and I'll throw a couple of pads of butter on top of it, stir it up, let the butter melt. Keeps the noodles from sticking together.
Yeah, it does. It does. There are a lot of tips and tricks. I mean, every family has their own recipe, and you grow up in that family. You learn what your parents did, whether it was your mom or your dad or your grandmother that was the primary cook.
You know, my dad died last year about this time, and I had to go down clean out his apartment with my family.
Yes. I remember you going through that, and I was going, that's got to be more than a little bit traumatic.
It happens. I mean, you know, and the thing is, my brother, who was kind of in charge of the whole thing, and then we were both in the military, so he was a combat medic for a while, and of course I've been in Iraq twice, so we've both seen people die, and it's not that, you know, that wasn't as traumatic. It wasn't as traumatic for me and him as it was for the rest of the family, especially the females.
Yeah, it's not that you're ever going to get inured to that sort of thing. It's just that you've gone through it before
and you have to get things done, and you know,
really you've got your I don't know what you would call it, but I would tend to think of it as your unit buddies that didn't make it home.
Right. Anyway, so I went down there, we're cleaning his place, and I inherited a bunch of his kitchen stuff. And it turns out he had grandma's old stock pot.
Oh.
Which was this huge aluminum thing. And when I say aluminum, I don't mean like modern aluminum. Okay. This is like the stuff you would see, and I'm pretty sure Grandpa stole this from the Navy. That's how big the damn thing is.
It's big enough to boil a submarine in.
I'm pretty sure there's a light cruiser or destroyer that was missing a pot. Okay. But I've got that. I haven't used. I cleaned it up, but I haven't used. I just put it away. It's in a box in the bedroom, in the storage room over here. And I still got it. Got a bunch of stuff. I got his. He was very old fashioned about cooking, and I have this glass jar chopper that has the spring-loaded plunger handle and the little 4 blades inside the jar and a little wooden disc in the bottom. And you put whatever you want to chop in it and just pop, 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 pop a couple times. And I'm like, I haven't seen one of those since the 70s. Where the hell did he find this thing?
Hey, excuse me, 70s weren't that long ago.
Yeah, they were.
Not for me.
For both of us. That's 50 years ago, pal.
Well, I mean, 50 years isn't that long.
Half a century.
Yes, I know.
We were both kids.
I spent longer than that at work. I mean, seriously. But
we were both kids back then.
Speak for yourself. I'm still a kid. I'm horribly irresponsible. Still.
Okay. It's that time.
It is, isn't it?
Yep.
Actually, I was worried about how we would fill the time, and we just
yapped.
We just carried on, and it's wonderful. And thank you very much, John, for being here with me tonight. I enjoy your company, and
I enjoy it. I will punch play button, and we will say good night to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Let's click.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.